Rob.
The most inaccurate team in the comp.
So final quarter about to get underway here. Hawthorn by 11 goals. Bailey, a little toe poke wide. Robertson, Clark. Now Main, who come off the back of the centre square at the start of this final term, and the kick not great. And Ballantyne sees it over.
Well, Matty, they're going to lose the game. You just hope that the Dockers just go for broke, that they take some risks, that they give themselves a chance to kick a 4 or 5 goal quarter, to give their supporters something to talk about as they go home. Because if they only get 2 or 3 goals for the game, there is absolutely naught to get inspired about. So let's hope that they throw caution to the wind, play on it every opportunity, kick it long into the forward line, give players down there like Anthony and McPhee a chance to be part of the game. And the little blokes at ground level, particularly Ballantyne, you know, just get on your bike and go hard.
Hill and a boundary throw in. No, it is now. And Hawthorn playing the spare man back as well, which is Sean Burgoyne, making it even more difficult for those forwards when they do get an opportunity. There's Sean Burgoyne, centre screen.
Hawthorn have activated this up. Ladson on for Ellis.
Thanks, Tim. Bailey, Mitchell, Silvani. Now Robertson is able to get it towards half forward. Birchall in the way, pushed off the kick. Silvani again. Mitchell desperate. Crowley on hands and knees. Can't find the footy. Robertson. Bruced. Little grab on the neck, not seen by the umpire. Hill held by Ladson. And Stephen Hill with the free kick, just the attacking side of the wing for the Dockers.
And we're only a minute in, but he's shown a greater intent, Stephen Hill. Far more aggressive at the contest, looking to do something in this last quarter, make something of the match.
Pavlich coming out for his 21st disposal. Kicks long. In front was Johnson. Knocked away from him. Birchall. Here's Guerra. .50 out from the Dockers' goal. Bailey against Clark. Bailey the tap. Hacked out of the air by Robertson. Gibson. Another solid game from the Hawthorn defender. Good mark by Hill, and he plays on immediately, goes into the pocket, but shocking kick. Missed his target by 10 metres. Terrible kick. Lewis to Sewell. Here's the Hill kick, boys.
Sums up their night, and I'm not sure what Fremantle are doing, but they've got Silvani and Pavlich both behind the footy. No need for that. They need to push forward one of them and make a contest inside 50.
Lewis. Hands a little fierce for Birchall, who hacks it out of mid-air, wide. Now Suckling leading in the race. Ballantyne in pursuit, but the ball over. So a boundary throw in on the opposite half-forward flank.
And Jack Anthony has been given that chance in defence.
So the boundary throw in. Clark to do battle with Bailey. Clark in front. Osborne, in fact it was Ladson. Franklin did well to get the handball over to Murphy, who hurries the kick into the centre. Well done, Pavlich. Broughton back to Grover. So the Dockers towards half forward. Fife up, almost. In fact, he's been pinged or got in the recipient of an arm chop.
Good effort, really good effort. I had my eyes on the young fella as the ball was kicked. He had eyes only for the football. Nice leap. Almost marked it, infringed as it turned out.
And a sign of a good player is he's now going for his 23rd disposal, 18 contested possessions. So on a tough night, he's held his head up high, Nathan Fife.
So here he is from just inside 50. And just hanging it out to the right. No problems with the distance, but 2-5 now. The Dockers return for the evening.
Sean Burgoyne plays onto himself, gets a shepherd. Target is Bailey. He's caught behind here and pushed his opponent in the back. So free kick going to Zach Clark. Have you seen that battle tonight, Rob, between the two ruckmen?
Look, I think Zach Clark's held his own out there. You know, Bailey's a bigger, stronger player, but I think this young fella's been pretty good. Obviously, Sandiland's sorely missed, but he's getting opportunity. Ooh.
Oh, Clark's kicked a goal. Unbelievable.
And he's a good shot for goal quarters.
Fremantle's third goal for the night. And the Hawks' defence was caught napping.
So Clark kicking Fremantle's third goal.
Chris, I reckon he's put this to the top of the square there. And as Quarters said, no one ready for it. And Piopolo lets it go through. They cannot believe it, the Hawks' defence.
So the margin 59 points now in favour of the Hawks.
And
Mitchell.
Buddy put in at that centre bounce.
Saul. High and wide. Oh, good mark up in front taken by Grover. Off to Pavlich. And he directs it well to Pearce. The substitute on the ground.
Too slow.
De Boer and Palmer out of the game for the Dockers. Kicks it back to Pavlich, but still no play on as he kicks towards half-forward. That's a beautifully weighted kick to Hill. Sweeping handball. Robertson from 30. Drop punt. It was a bad miss. So the margin 58 points in favour of Hawthorn.
And Burgoyne once again will do the kicking in. Gee, he went over the line. Thought he went over the line there, but umpire let it go. And the mark's taken by Mitchell.
So Rain starts the team down again here at Patterson Stadium.
Mitchell on the left, so proficient both sides of his body. Franklin in front of Pavlich, who does the spoiling. Pick up by Osborne. A typical handball over to Smith, who soccers off the ground. There's no one inside 50, so Smith keeps going. Still keeps going off the ground. Here's Franklin. He has a soccer, but he kicks it across the face. That sums up his night. He might have another crack here, Franklin. Then he gets pushed in the back by Broughton. The softest free kick you've ever seen. Well, and Lance Franklin will go back and have a shot at goal.
There were 4 soccers in a row. He's going to be tired, Lance.
Wasn't smart there from Broughton. I think he saw what Buddy did, and he just, I know, it was really soft, but this isn't an easy kick for Buddy Franklin. Non-preferred side, he loves to get the arc, but when you're this close in, you don't get that swing. There's not enough time.
Still yet to kick a goal. He hasn't been held goalless since round 3 last season. And that's not going to do it for Buddy. That's out on the full.
I thought he might have bananaed it, Matty. He's exhausted after that chase.
So 58 points, the advantage to the Hawks. Pavlich in search of Michael Johnson. Ball to the back, as it's been for much of the night. Birchall, rugby style, just places it into the path of Ladson. Not coming out, so the umpire will bounce.
Adam McPhee in game 200, just the 5 disposals. He seemed really unsure of himself. He's double grabbed at the footy, ran underneath it a lot of times. He went to ground before, just really lacking confidence in his own game at the moment.
Hale gets it down. And again, the pack. But the free kick plucked out. There you go, fair enough. Oh, gee, quick handball off to Mzungu. So at least they're trying Fremantle. Mzungu's kick was poor. Murphy in the way for Hawthorn. Back towards half forward. Hale has been very good. Pearce, Mzungu, Grover. Lower and a boundary throw in.
Winds picked up again, favouring the Dockers' end. Rain stopped. Hawthorn leads by 58 points. Free kick in the back going against Hale. And it's going to Johnson. Short to Anthony. He kicks it long. And that's a very clever mark taken by Brent Guerra. There's Burgoyne. A couple of options. One of them's Gibson. He stabs the pass back to the wing. Not a great kick. Pavlich slaps it towards Fife. Gibson's in there again. Picked up by Suckling. Ball still in play. Guerra. Now Fife ends up with the ball. Goes inside 50 looking for Ballantyne. Couldn't quite get there. And Puopolo is more than happy to see it over the line.
Clever mark by Guerra.
Well, the two boys in the ruck, Bailey and Clark, 20 hit-outs each for the game.
So Bailey hits the front with that one. And again, the ball not coming out immediately. Well done, Ballantyne. Snap to a vacant goal square. It's through for an amazing goal. So Hayden Ballantyne, his first of the evening, and at last a little joy for the Docker fans.
All too late, but at a stoppage goal, what Hawthorn were able to do in the first quarter, Fremantle have responded in this last quarter, kept the ball in their half, something they haven't been able to do all night. Just the class of Hawthorn from that first quarter has been prominent.
Hayden Ballantyne, just the 10 disposals, all of them kicks. He scores his first goal for the night, and it's his team's fourth.
And they're still playing Pavlich as a loose man in defence.
Mitchell kicks to the 50. Here's Rioli against Grover. Grover's done a very good job on Rioli. Rioli lays the tackle. Although Cyril did set it up early in the game with a couple of great goals in the first term. Lewis just handballs over the head blindly. Main will get there first. Plenty of time to use it well. Unfortunately for his team, he doesn't, as he puts it down the throat of Puopolo.
Well, Mark Harvey, pre-game quarters, he would have been happy to have said to have taken Buddy no goals and Cyril 2 goals halfway through the last quarter. He would have said, yeah, I'll take that.
And we'll have a throw-in well inside Hawthorn's attacking 50, and the inside 50s now for the match. 53 Hawthorn, 26 Fremantle.
Mark Harvey's given Chris Mayne a go in defence, picking up Luke Bruce. He's just had the 4 disposals, starved of opportunities tonight. So Harves has made a lot of changes, give guys different opportunities to see whether they're worthy of a game next weekend.
Smith close to the line, lower. Good handball to Hill. Mzungu. Michael Johnson. Hill, nice little tap over the top to Pavlich. And now Ibbotson from backward of the wing. Beautiful kick, finds Clark. Get on with it, son. He's got McPhee running to half forward, but again, too slow. Hawthorn have been able to get numbers back, and he kicks to a 2-on-1 against. Poor option. And Birchall decides to keep it in and casually kicks into the pocket to Cheney. The classic example where Zach Clark could have taken the game on, played on, and in the end it came and amounted to nothing.
Long kick by Cheney's, targets Bailey, falls a bit short. No mark to Crowley. So Hawthorn's record against the Dockers, very impressive. They would have won now 9 of its last 12 against Fremantle. The Dockers, though, did get the wood over them last year here in the elimination final. Smith for Hawthorn kicks it off the ground back into the middle. Hill to Duffield, who's been very quiet, back to Main. And he's done well to stay on the ground with a shoulder injury tonight. His kick's good, it finds McPhee. The Bronx cheers for the 200 gamer as he goes long, looking for and finding Fife. He's been one of the few players to hold his head high tonight for the Dockers. Fife coming in for his 25th disposal, and he's had 20 contested possessions.
And watch the way he protects the ball with this marking attempt. He's got Cheney behind him and just puts his back in the way of Cheney, and he can't spoil. That's what Mark Harvey is speaking about, this guy, how smart of a footballer he is.
Deserves a goal. But misses. 2 behinds to Nat Fife.
Now the third highest paid Docker at the club behind Sandilands and Pavlich.
Already?
Yep, and will also be the Doig medalist, which is their fairest and best, the youngest ever in club history.
All that at just 19.
Bailey, Puopolo, and now Cheney to the wing. Johnson going back, couldn't quite control it initially, but gets the handball back to Pavlich, who's playing a sweeping role in this final term. Lewis attacks it, picked up by Main around Franklin. Good little give, Mzungu. Now this is where the option have let them down so far tonight. Fisted away by Moore. Gee, a dangerous kick. Umpire thought it was okay. And a throw against Suckling, and Fremantle opportunity from directly in front, 40 metres from goal. There's the kick.
Yeah,
Just copped him right on the forehead, Rob.
Yeah,
on the
poor old
scone.
Zach Clark. But I reckon the kid's been good tonight.
So Adam McPhee with this opportunity just had the 6 disposals in game 200.
Why did he leave Essendon to come back to the Dockers, Matty? Did they pursue him, the Dockers?
It's because of his contract offer was far greater at Fremantle. The 3-year deal he was offered at Fremantle.
And McPhee kicks the goal. Margin back to 45. The Dockers have kicked the last 3 goals in the match.
Goal to McPhee in his 200th game. Perhaps the Hawks, Chris, they might put the cue in the rack for the night, do you think?
Well, it looks as though they already have quarters. They were 11 goals up at 3/4 time. The Dockers have kicked the only 3 in this final quarter.
Down to Tim Gossage.
I also got a bit more on Adam McPhee coming back. I'm led to believe that his father-in-law is the brains behind the taser gun that police use, and they needed a sort of a West Coast young man to run it here on the West Coast, and his father-in-law has the business, and he's looking forward to his future beyond football.
Great tackle by big Zach Clark. Tell you what, the Dockers could have done with a few taser guns in this match.
Mark Harvey wishes he had a few.
Should have dished him out at quarter time. Mark taken by Main. Plays on. This is better from Fremantle. Intercepted, though, the handball by Rioli from Johnson. And now the marks taken by Whitecross. They'd work extra well in the rain too, I reckon, Michael.
Yeah, bit of extra sting, you reckon?
Sewell tried to break the tackle. That's got to be holding the ball. Advantage paid. So the Dockers kick it inside 50. McPhee in front, fisted away by Cheney. Nice pick up by Murphy. And he did it well as he drills it down the line. Good hands by Sewell to Lewis. And that's an interesting kick, just an up and under to the wing. And good mark taken by Silvani, who has had an outstanding night on Lance Franklin. Still goalless, his buddy. Grover. And that's desperate stuff from Ladson, who was the sub for the Hawks. He replaced Luke Hodge in the team, and he knocks it over the line.
Crowd tonight, 30,937.
Surioli been really quiet since that first quarter. Had 5 disposals and 2 goals in the first quarter. Only 6 disposals in the last 3 quarters. And it's always hard. Second week back after a long hamstring injury. And he looked sharp early, but struggled to get into the game since.
Ladson little gives okay to Franklin. Wobbly old kick. Inside attacking 50. Hill going back, went to ground. Now Osborne, Sockers goalward, bouncing just the wrong side of the post. Offline for Michael Osborne. 1-2 for Michael Osborne in game number 150. That goal he kicked earlier this evening is 100th in AFL football.
Mark taken by Broughton. Mayne went without it. Picked up by Franklin. Mayne's there, and Buddy gives away another free kick. There's a Docker down hurt. That's Broughton. Boy, that a rotten run tonight. Home team. That's not a great kick. Here's Rioli. Will take on Grover here, and he takes on the Ballantyne tackle. Cyril Rioli screws it round the body. Mayne does the spoiling against Franklin. Wonderful pick-up by Osborne. Then tried to be a little bit too fancy. Oh, he went in hard on Hill. No free kick. Picked up by Suckling. And Suckling finishes it off for the Hawks.
Sums up the night for Freo as another injury happens to Greg Broughton. Just the turnovers from Freo, just two unforgivable ones. And Hawthorn's pressure has been good, but just not believing themselves and picking the right options, and they've continually just turned over the balls that they shouldn't have.
Lance Franklin, 19 disposals, a couple of marks. It's been a tough night for forwards, but never really looked dangerous.
When you say that, he has got 19 disposals and 10 contested possessions, so we rate him, we mark him pretty highly, don't we?
No, we do indeed. And he's been able to have a contribution, as I said, despite the conditions being really tough for key forwards.
And Hawthorn would be happy with that, just to get an even spread. Kicked 12 goals, 17, without a big influence from Buddy Franklin.
But having said that, Silvani on the one-on-one contest, he's done a very good job. Ball to the back this time, Mayne. Now Pearce came on as the substitute. Long towards the wing. Ball to the back, and the only player there, Suckling. Support provided by Birchall. Shared around. Nice sidestepping from Gibson. Puopolo. Burgoyne. Not much pressure there from the Dockers. Long inside attacking 50. Again, Silvani fists away from Franklin. Front and centre, Shields. Oh, gee, Pearce was strong with the tackle. Got the handball out to Clark. Well done, Robertson. Mzungu. He feeds it back to Crowley, and he kicks into Suckling. Very untidy at the moment for the Dockers. Puopolo off to Murphy. Towards half forward. Franklin and Silvani again. Silvani got rid of Franklin. Legally, says the umpire. Grover. Clark right on the line at half back. Not the greatest of handballs, and Pearce takes it over. As we look at Hawthorn's matches to come, big one against the Kangaroos, Port Adelaide, Carlton, and then the Western Bulldogs in round 23.
Massive game, round 22. There's both the Blues and the Hawks shoot for that double chance come September. Boy, what a good game that'll be. Hawks win it back. Burgoyne. Handball smothered. Ballantyne. Out to Johnson. Little underground handball was good. Here's Fife. Nothing to kick to, so wheels onto the left, kicks towards goal, and that is a superb finish from Nat Fife. What a young star.
Sensational goal from Fife. He's worked himself into this game just through hard work. 26 disposals now. He's had 3 shots, should have kicked 3 goals. And that is a brilliant finish under pressure from 50 metres.
Fremantle's games to come. Big game against the Saints. And, of course, the Blues the next round. So, tough run for Fremantle. Despite tonight's loss, they will still be in the 8 as of tonight. in 8th position. Ladson around the body towards Whitecross. Slips McPhee, did it well. And then the kick very high. Anthony going up, fisting away, well played. Barlow. Short kick marked by Pearce. Barlow's had a bit of it tonight. 21 disposals and a little quieter in this term. Mark taken by Grover. Searching kick for Clark. Now Ibbotson. Probing kick towards Duffield. Gibson. Played it well, Josh Gibson. And we'll get a boundary throw in half forward for the Dockers.
So this match was decided a long, long way from home in the first quarter when the Hawks kicked 6 goals to nothing. And they've slowly but surely increased that margin throughout the match. Lower. High ball looking for Johnson. Great spoil by Burgoyne at the death. Socket off the ground by Sewell. And toe poke again by Lower's good. Barlow took it a little bit too easily.
He's exhausted.
Yeah. And then Gibson's kick. Now that's out on the full. Should be a free kick to the Hawks. Ricocheted off the foot of Ballantyne.
Yeah.
And there are some tired bodies out there. So here's a replay of this one. Just off the foot of Ballantyne. Umpire's still having a conference.
On the full against the 305. Yeah, come in. No, he's kicked it. The question is whether it went onto your boot. Can you add anything from there for a deflection? So he's kicked it.
Why doesn't Howden Ballantyne just say, look, come off his boot, mate. Just give the Hawk a free kick.
And I thought that the boundary umpire initially paid it, so I'm not sure why the field umpires questioned it at all.
Exactly.
Maybe Hayden Ballantyne wants a free kick from that same spot, Chriso.
The free kick does end up in the hands of Josh Gibson. He kicks to Franklin. Almost a good mark. Bailey kicks it forward. Chases on here. Osborne. And it just trickles over the line for a throw-in.
I can tell you, umpire Matt Stevick had a quick glance at the big screen on our replay and made up his mind from that, no doubt.
Goss, what do you reckon? The Dockers gone now? Won't play finals?
Nah, they're in trouble, Lloydie. They've left too many good players out for too long and it's starting to wear thin. The next month is a killer.
So Clark only as far as Mitchell. Osborne somehow got boot to ball. Smith unable to reel it in. So a boundary throw in the forward 50 for the Hawks.
They've been incredibly courageous to this point, but tonight I think lack of troops has certainly paid the price.
St Kilda look like certainties with the way they're playing. They've won again tonight. The only issue is that Essendon play the Pies tomorrow. They're in 9th. North have lost in 10th, and Melbourne and the Dogs have lost as well. So, yeah, there's just no one standing up for that 8th position at the moment.
Barlow feeds to Anthony from half back, uses it beautifully into the chest of Fife. Oh, he wanted to give it Mzungu, he wasn't even looking. Puopolo invents a kick wide to Cheney. Birchall providing some run from half back, unloads from 55, vacant goal square. Wonderful goal from Grant Birchall. Margin back out to 52. Mossman just pushing Robertson into the post.
Yeah, he felt that when the ball was going through that Robertson pushed him in the post initially and he wasn't happy. He's an angry ant, Osborne.
As I said, he's very unsociable at times. Bit of argy-bargy after that goal. Osborne didn't like the treatment from Robertson. He got slammed into the post, and Osborne, fair enough, didn't like it. So he took him to task, and the umpire had to come in and split the boys up.
And we've seen a new side to Robertson tonight as well.
Yes, a bit of aggression.
Oh, hello.
Threw him into the turnpike.
Oh, this is not good for Sam Mitchell. Right in the closing seconds of the game, has hurt his ankle here. We'll get back to that as the Dockers go inside 50. Murphy forces it through for a point. Mitchell gets up. He seems to be okay. Let's have a look here. Yes, just went over on the right ankle. Just what you don't want in the last minute or so of the game. He's up and he's walking around. So He seems to be okay, but he'll pull up pretty sore tomorrow.
From the boundary throw in, Ballantyne lurking at the back. Soccer for by Anthony, in towards the pocket. Mzungu, oh, he did all the hard work, couldn't hold on. Burgoyne through his legs, and a rush behind for the Dockers.
Hawks by 51 points. As Cheney does the kicking in. Target is Bailey. He looks a tired boy too. Picked up by Smith. No one pretty much in one half of the ground. Hawthorn's attacking half. Here's Pavlich off to Hill. Out wide to Lower. Back to Pavlich once again from a standing start. Kicks towards Anthony. Couldn't take the mark, but butted up nicely. Big Jack runs to 55. Kicks for goal. It's going to fall short. And cutting it off is Gibson.
Can't take a trick, our Jack.
I'd like to see him be given an opportunity across half-back though, because he's a player that will add plenty to this Fremantle side. But a wonderful win by the Hawks, in the end by 51 points in front of a crowd of over 30,000 people.
We're the mighty Hawks. We love our club and we play to win. Riding the punch with a grin at Hawthorn. Come on, play by the striding. Teamwork is the thing that talks. One for all and all for one. May we play at home. We are the mighty Hawks.
So the Hawks back to third spot on the ladder. Hopping over the top of the Blues once again. Let's go down to one of the stars of the show tonight. Sam Mitchell. He had 24 disposals, 12 contested possessions and a couple of great snap goals. He's with Tim Gossage.
Yeah, good on your Quarters. Pretty decisive, wasn't it? We came across here, obviously the finals of last year disappointing. The boys had plenty of motivation.
Yeah, we certainly did want to get off to a good start. We know the crowd over here in Fremantle, they love their Dockers, so wanted to get off to a good start. We were fortunate to hit the scoreboard early and kept the game going.
What about that rain in the second quarter? How did you go with that?
Pretty happy to be able to change all my gear at half-time. Most of the boys did too, but certainly something different for us. We haven't seen rain like that for a while.
Fantastic achievement without the skipper, Luke Hodge, being withdrawn, and Buddy, first time in 33 consecutive games he hasn't kicked a goal. He got the job done by a long way.
Yeah, he thought he still played a pretty good game. You know, a lot of contest, a lot of tackling, particularly that first half when the game was really there to be won. You know, it ended up being a pretty good performance by just across the board.
30 seconds to go. It looked like he'd done something with the ankle. It looked pretty nasty in the replay. How is it?
Just a little tweak. I'll be fine.
Well done. Well played.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So all as well with Sam Mitchell. Another outstanding game. Can't win the Brownlow medal this year, despite the fact he's dominated all season, averaging 32 disposals and 6 clearances a game before tonight.
It was an absolute demolition by the Hawks tonight. 30 scoring shots to 14, 61 inside 50s to 34. The senior bodies of Sewell, Mitchell, Lewis, too good tonight. And Freo tried hard late, but 6 goals to 0 in the first quarter set the scene. Too good, the Hawthorn Footy Club team.